Knockout legends in the building. Like, comment and subscribe. So today we're going to talk about a few things, but the first thing is Spencer Fearon. Now Spencer Fearon's made a few comments and a few people have responded. First off, we have Johnny Nelson, and then we have Barry James. So I'm going to play a few clips and then I'm going to get into it afterwards. So with no further ado.
Fearon made yesterday about his dad being involved in black magic and how he's trying to influence black magic into this particular fight. Have you ever heard of such a thing before? Does this thing exist in boxing?
I'm quite sure it exists in the world, but if it works, if you believe in it, you believe in it. You got two black men fighting each other. So it's not one, black magic favors one over the other. This is about two guys that have trained the hardest to the best of their ability. And Spencer has got everybody talking because of what he said about Dave Dubois. And then we're thinking, what is all that about? Oh, it must be right. There must have been something happening in camp. I think that's a personal issue between them two. And I think Spencer's willing to make it public, especially, telling me, look, I got a solicitor's letter today. What is he doing? I'll expose him. I'll expose all that stuff. I don't know what it is.
Man's dad apparently is involved in dark arts, black magic, voodoo stuff. I don't know if there's a doll of Anthony Joshua that's getting bugged right now, but he suggested all that's going on and it's been going on for a while. What do you make of all that? Have you seen anything like that before?
No, I've not seen that before or heard about that before, but I did see it. I seen the clip of it. Let's be honest. I seen the clip of the both things that he said about Daniel. He doesn't seem to be a massive fan of Daniel. But this is Spencer's his own man. To be fair, the one thing you got to admire about Spencer Fearon is he says what he wants to say. And he'll say that. I said it. I think.
Ours is, where is Don Charles? Some reports surfaced on social media yesterday that he was no longer part of the team. I think there was some clarification from the other side that he was not well, and Daniel Dubois' answer today suggests he didn't 100% clarify if he was going to be part of the corner or not. What can you tell us? What have you heard?
I spoke to Spencer Fearon earlier on. He said he got a solicitor's letter from Don Charles' solicitor, from Stanley Dubois' solicitor, in regards to his comments on him. And Spencer says there's a lot more going on than what you think. The reason why I said that, and a lot more will come to light. He's not hiding the facts. He's going to embarrass people to say, you want to send me a solicitor letter? Let's talk in court. Then you'll realise why I'm saying these things. There's nothing wrong with Don Charles. Don Charles, he's got a cold. Don Charles is staying out of the way for obvious reasons. It's not convenient at this time because obviously he don't want to get his boy to get sick. But he'll be here Saturday night, and I feel for him. But
he will be there Saturday night.
It's not a big fight for Anthony Joshua.
All right, elaborate, because I know what you're saying, but I'm talking about the occasion. 96,000 people. I know Anthony Joshua has done this before. He has been here. He has done it before. But it seems like a big spectacle.
Anthony Joshua was born for these occasions, right? Because he made these things manifest. Yeah. If you look on someone like Daniel Dubois, he's been manufactured to get to where he's got to. Right, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's a very, very good talent. He's devoted his life to boxing because he had no other option, right? Because his father's been very, very vicarious with him, right? So his dad is living a dream through his son. I don't really think that is actually Daniel Dubois' dream. What's happening right now with Anthony Joshua has rediscovered himself. And rediscovered Anthony Joshua is a problem for anybody. And that's why I see this fight going only one way. Hergovich don't look like Anthony Joshua. You know that now?
In regards to another narrative, Daniel Dubois got a lot of power that we know of. And if that does land on Anthony Joshua, then there's a lot of trouble. But is that
Listen, everyone's got to stop going on like, well, Anthony Joshua's chinny. Anthony Joshua's not chinny.
I didn't say that.
No, but you say no if he lands. But I'm just letting people know, Anthony Joshua's not chinny. Anthony Joshua, certain things, what happens with him is more to do with experience or not knowing how to react to getting hit with a hard shot. He's been through those things now. So all of those things are coupled with the experience. The experience is, I'm not believing with that narrative. You know what I mean? I'm rolling with the narrative quite simply as this. Anthony Joshua is the one that's been groomed for these kind of for this experience. Anthony Joshua is more settled in the experience, and to tell you the honest truth, this is far too early for Daniel Dubois.
Okay.
Right? It's in your mental makeup. So therefore you can get broken down. And Uysk don't look like Anthony Joshua. Uysk gives you angles. Uysk mentally drains you because he's a psychologist. And when you're up against Uysk, you're sat down on the psychotherapist's couch. It's a total different thing with Anthony Joshua. And not only that, all the time I've seen Anthony Joshua, since teaming up with Ben Davison, he's always props in his team. I haven't heard Daniel Dubois once props Don Charles, not once. And when things get into deep waters, we're gonna see big time in this fight.
Carl Froch is saying, listen, if Joshua loses this is the end of his career, do you...
Listen, that's Carl Froch's business. I don't care what Carl Froch thinks. Yeah, I mean, tell Carl Froch to continue supporting Tommy Robinson. And leave that on the camera as well. Don't try to take that off. You know what I mean? No EDO man can't tell me nothing. I've said it.
So in the first clip there, we have Johnny talking to Boxing King Media, and he is talking about the controversy that Spence and Fearon has created. But to be fair, I've seen the first interview, but I think it's been taken off the internet now. So I saw it yesterday, but I didn't really... I just listened to it, so I didn't get a chance to actually soundbite it or clip it. But anyway, the comments that Spencer made to Boxing King Media in the interview were that he has a letter from Stanley Dubois, who I think is called Dave Dubois as well. But anyway, which is Daniel Dubois' father. But he is... basically, I think it's like a cease and desist for slander, because basically what Spencer was saying in the interview was that they're using dark magic or black magic, which is either juju, voodoo or obia, whichever one you want to paraphrase as to which one it is. But anyway, this is down to the fact that they want to win the fight by any means necessary, but also the fact that Don Charles, it turns out that they didn't really rate him as a trainer, and I think the father being in control has reared his ugly head again. Now, Shane McGuigan had the same problem with Daniel Dubois' father, and that's why they ended up parting. And also before that, Mark Tibbs had the same problem as well. That's why they departed as well and split. So it's a thing that's coming prevalent in the career, that once the father raises his ugly head at some point in the camp, it causes division. And he doesn't listen particularly well to the trainers, but just to his father. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe the father should be the trainer. But obviously, maybe he doesn't have enough experience, technical wise, to train Daniel to do that. But anyway, I don't know. But anyway, on to the next clip. We have Boxing King Media talking to Barry Jones, and basically he's asking him his opinion on what's happened, and he just says that, you know, Spencer just says what he wants to say. He's his own man, and, you know, he gives his own opinion. But anyway, so he said he's heard a bit of what's happened and what's gone on, and then, you know, he just glosses over it. But anyway, moving on to the last clip, which is with Spencer Fearon, and that's with pro boxing fans. He actually addresses quite a few things about the Daniel Dubois fight. He actually says that Daniel Dubois is basically too early to be fighting someone like Joshua, especially at this stage of his career in such a big venue. The big nights are made for Joshua because he's been groomed for this and he's done this. Joshua is not chinny because obviously a lot of it was down to lack of experience when certain things happened and when he's took shots, which we can kind of obviously agree with and see in the Klitschko fight. Also, there was Povetkin fight. There's also the Ruiz fight. And apparently something was wrong with Joshua on that day, but he never actually made an excuse or elaborated on it. But anyway, this misconception that Joshua's chinny, I don't agree with it. And a lot of people saying that he quit in the Ruiz fight. Well, if Ruiz has concussed you, which he did to Joshua, and then he hits you and keeps hitting you with pretty strong hands, because I know Ruiz, because I've watched Ruiz before prior to the Joshua fight, his first one, and he takes down taller opponents, he destroys them. So anyone that's within his vicinity and the taller, he has a better chance of detonating the chin, especially if they don't, how can I put it, use the reach or the legs to get away from him, because he did that against Derenchenko and a couple of other fighters. And for a big guy, he does have fast hands. I think it's just the style that he fights in, that Mexican style. But anyone close up, close quarters, he destroys with his hands. That's hence the name, the Destroyer, El Destroyer, El Destructo. But anyway, that is the only time Joshua's looked vulnerable, and he rectified that in the rematch. Yeah, he may have been gun shy, he may have been cautious, but I think that's just survival instincts and the fact that you've been knocked out and you actually realise you are fallible. You know, the same with the Klitschko fight, he was fallible in that. And you're only human, you know, just because you're big and you're tall and you whatever, you weigh whatever, doesn't mean that you're indestructible. Nobody is. You know, it's heavyweight boxing, hence the name heavyweight boxing. If the right punch hits you in the right time, in the right place, you're gonna go. Simple as. But anyway, also moving on with what Spencer Fearon says. Spencer goes on about other things. I think he's talking about the power difference between Joshua and Usyk, and obviously Joshua has different, like, obviously destructive power when it comes to punches. Usyk's more mentally draining and tiring you out mentally than overwhelming you, which is how he fights. He breaks you down, sort of thing. And remember, Joshua didn't actually get knocked out by Usyk. Yeah, he lost twice, but he didn't get knocked out. And in the second fight, arguably in 9th round, he could have took Usyk out, but I think he gassed, and Usyk got his second win and got away. Usyk was lucky. So I think Usyk's strategic in his way of thinking when it comes to boxing. He knows he can't overwhelm or knock out bigger opponents. He has to tire them out, which is the whole point of boxing. If you can use your skill and your stamina and then strategize, you can win a fight just by using your actual boxing skill and your actual technique and footwork and defense to win, basically. You know, brute force and strength doesn't always see you through. But anyway, I'm going to call it at that and say, what are your thoughts on this interview and what Spencer Fearon said? Do you agree with anything that he says? Do you agree that Daniel Dubois' father's using dark magic or dark arts? And do you agree that Daniel Dubois is too early for this fight? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe. That is another one from the one and only Knockout Legends. Peace.